the things that starts happening on a group like this, right, where we are dying, right, and we're sharing our dying. I can't handle, we're not saying that actively, but it's, this is happening, this is happening, this is happening, this is happening, kuch karo, please help me, etc. There's invariably somebody or the other who will step in. Even for us, right? When we see somebody, because remember, anxiety is the fear of dying. Anxiety is the fear of death, because the symptoms mimic that's what's happening to the body. The symptoms mimic that the body is under grave, terrorizing threat. But it could just be an Excel sheet that needs to be looked at. And we will do that. Where it means that because there's the fear of death, and you've put down a need on the group, and even us, right? When we look at people like that and they're overwhelmed and they're so vulnerable in that moment, everybody wants to step in and help. Right? So everybody, whatever it is that you are saying, do this, do that, try this, I try that, I try this, don't worry, don't be scared, or God is with you. Something or the other, right? We sweep in to help. And I will repeat, all of us have been abandoned in some way or the other. All of us know anxiety. I doubt that there is anybody in the world who does not know overwhelm, or who has not had, if not a panic attack, an anxiety episode. We all know it. We all respond to it. Therefore, the decree I'm about to give you is a collective decree. A collective decree means I'm going to be acknowledging that it is there for everyone. Yes? Everybody's ready? Are these the two words? No. But try it anyway. And this is what you're going to say just 5 times. You know what? Say it only 3 times. See how you feel, and then say it twice more. Ready? Ready?
Yes.
Everybody's releasing their anxieties, and so am I. Everybody's releasing their anxieties, and so am I. Everybody's releasing their anxieties, and so am I. You've heard it twice, now you say it. The decrees have to be spoken. So say it. After practice, you can start thinking it, whispering it. If you're in a public place and you can't say it out loud, then of course, please whisper or think it, but they have to be spoken. Cheers again. And that's your setup. Now, a setup sets you up for the main event. Still not the 2 words, but just say this 3 times. Tell me how that made you feel.
Right. And as they put that in, Sunita says, even those who come from loving families still feel abandonment.
Yes. Which loving family is this? That has never criticized their child, that has never scolded their child, that has never threatened their child, that has never treated another sibling a little differently from the present sibling. Which family is this? Please tell us. We want them all on Thursday's call.
Right. Dipali says, I felt not alone.
Good. Good.
Neha says she's feeling suffocating near the throat.
Please make the heart look outside, squeeze.
Naya says, felt relief all over. Nitika says, feel very supported now after the decree. I no more feel alone.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
Noha says, Amani's who's Amani? Is this a family as described as Nidhu was asking? Please tell us who this is. Noha, not understood, please let me know. Okay, just checking. I can see people are typing in. And AR says, feel supported.
Good.
Tushar says, feel strong sensations for a few seconds behind the head.
Excellent.
Right.
That's your ancestral. So there is some ancestral program of aloneness and abandonment going on here. Does your family have any history of famine or war?
Are you asking Tushar?
Yeah.
Right. And it would be interesting to see what he has to say, because I remember the name because I think new on the summits, because there was a constant question about, I can't imagine. I do not know how to imagine. I'm more, logical than this. Will this work for me? So Tushar, I don't know if you've picked up any of the other work or not, but seems like you finally landed up where you were supposed to be.
Come.
So he's written,
रोएंगे एक साथ हंसेंगे और एक साथ force को awaken करेंगे.
right, and ancestors' displacement from their native place, he says.
Right.
I feel there is a shared humanity, says Priya,
Wonderful.
and no one is guarded from suffering or anxiety. I am not an isolated case.
Fantastic. And now you can see, right? This sense, sorry.
Vaishnavi Pratima says she has a feeling of pain in the left calf.
Pain in the left calf. Yeah. So just make the heart shape around it and start sipping water. All pain carries dehydration. If you have a tendency to pain.
Okay. Sorry, a few more have written in, Nidhu, and I know you've said make the heart, but let me just bring this up anyway. Kadambari said, I feel sensation on the top of my head. Lekhni says she's like feeling a slight palpitation. Samina saying there's lots of pain behind her head.
Got it. Because it's behind your head, you will just make the heart in front of your face. But please start drinking water.
Right. And Tina says, I could finally stop crying.
I'm glad. But I'm also very glad you cried. I am more glad you cried than that you stopped. You're healing yourself. That is the body's natural mechanism. There's nothing wrong with crying. It's so good. Okay. That was the setup, right? Now, when you feel, you immediately have the sense of bonding, right? You immediately have the sense of connection around you. Now, when I give you this, it'll be so easy for you to say, because we've done the setup. And here's what it is. This is 2 words, but it's not the 2 words that I'm going to give you. But this is also 2 words. And these 2 words are releasing everybody's anxiety, releasing mine. This we're going to do 5 times. Releasing everybody's anxieties, releasing mine. 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 You have to stay hydrated, because the energy shift with the decrease is so rapid that if you don't stay super hydrated, you will get a headache, you will get brain fog, you'll get a sense of pressure somewhere in the body. The energy is trying to move, it's trying to leave, it's trying to release, it's trying to transform, it's trying to change, it's trying to transmute. It needs water to do it.
Right. And
water also carries our messages to each and every cell faster than anything else. You have to stay hydrated, super hydrated. Yeah, please say.
I also just wanted to bring to everyone's attention that it was around 1939, not the year, I'm looking at the time, 739, when you started saying you said, we're going to say this 5 times, releasing everybody's anxieties, releasing mine. And you'd finished it 5 times and you were saying other things. By the time you finished saying the other things, then 1 minute got over, which means the decrease took less than 5.
Less than a minute.
30 seconds.
30 seconds. So when we say it's the fastest mover and shaker in the world, it's the fastest transformative language in the world. It's the fastest high vibration language in the world. It's the fastest language of action in the world. It is also with the process itself. So it's not like we're taking 1 hour to set up an assembly line and then the result is in 1 minute. Almost everything is happening, well, at the speed of the force.
Roshni is written in, I'm a Sindhi. My grandparent and uncle had to leave Sindh, Pakistan during the war and restart their life in Bombay. And from there, they shifted to Chennai. When I was born, the joint family separated. So could it be the reason why I feel abandonment?
Oh, yes, guaranteed.
DNA imprinted, no?
DNA imprinted, absolutely. It's autobotting. You will. And not only, okay, so here's the thing, right? In the Autobots, everybody, please, when you have time, please listen to the family light doctor calls. They will be there and we'll send it with a replay as well. The understanding of Autobots, right? Where some programs are just coming down because it's not crossed anybody's mind to question them. So very quickly, although I want the results of how everybody felt with releasing everybody's anxieties, releasing mine, I'm just going to give you the universal formula, which is done in a little more detail in Family Light Doctor. And the universal formula is mother plus father equals child. My mother plus my father equals me. If you have anxiety, I guarantee they have it. If they have anxiety, you will have it. And if they have anxiety, means their parents had anxiety. We are truly not alone. We feel like that in that moment because that is the power of abandonment. Because that is the power of us knowing, hey, I can't make it on my own. And even though in anger, especially with loved ones, we've said all kinds of things, right? Fine, go, who cares? You think I can't manage without you? That's right, you cannot. But this program of anxiety, it is generational. You will have, if you have an anxious mother, you will have acidity. You will have anxiety. You will have arthritis. You will have ADHD. Every generation, it becomes worse because nobody's looking at it, right? Everybody's just living with it. Everybody's just passing it on. If your mother has anxiety, if you have anxiety and you have children, please work on your anxiety. You will spare them so much suffering. And look at your parents. Take a look. I guarantee you, your anxiety is exactly identical to one of your parents or both your parents. Your thought process is also identical to either one or both parents. Your behaviors in the relationship with this anxiety and insecurity is identical to either one or both parents. Right. So when we do this work, when I said, tell me the setup, Neelu.
So the setup was everybody's releasing their anxieties, and so do I 3 times, and then 2 more times after that.
Right. And so am I. Yeah. Everybody's releasing their anxieties, and so am I. Who is this everybody? Do you know everybody?
Your mother and father.
It is your family. And yet, and not that you know everybody in your family, right? Some people you haven't met for 10 years, some people you never want to meet again. Some people you have done katti with long time back. Some people you wish you would meet, but they don't want to meet you. Who is this? How did it work? And again, my lovelies, because we have limited time together, sometime today, sometime tomorrow, but tomorrow is not an audio call. Tomorrow is the cone of silence and stillness.
Which they don't know about yet.
You're right. Okay, I'll come to that. Day after is our next call. Saturday is our other group call. It's still too little time, right? Which is why you got to spend time till November. You got to go through 8 calls. You got to go through 8 trainings. You got to go through 8 receivings of healing. And then it'll start falling into place. Right? Even when we said, right? What's our decree right now? And this is a test. I'm testing all of y'all. Did y'all make notes?
So releasing everybody's anxieties, releasing mine into 5 times.
Into 5.
Here's the thing, Nidhu. Earlier when you said, when this collective, everybody is releasing their anxieties, and so am I. Sunita had actually put a question in between. So Sunita, I hope that she wrote, if I need to say this just for myself, how would I phrase it?
You would still phrase it exactly like that.
You are saying it for yourself.
You are saying it for you only. But you are not just you. You are your mother and her lineage. You are your father and his lineage. Only you have had the pleasure and joy and blessing and option and choice to be able to come to a call. Our parents didn't have it. Our
Right.
children will have even more calls. Our children will have even more options. Our children will have even more choices. Our grandparents would have would have gotten anxious at the thought of all of this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but you are not just you. Your pain is not just your pain. Your fears are not just your fears. Your parents abandoned you because they were abandoned. And they were abandoned because their parents were abandoned.